Hi, this is Mr. West, and today we're doing a math drills tutorial video on mean, median, mode, and range. This is worksheet B, so if you're on the math drills worksheet website, you should just click on the B section, and again, there will be a link in the description below. So we're asked to find these measures of center here, mean, median, mode, and also the range. And I'm going to teach you how to do each one, and we're going to start with number one. So let's go ahead and start with the mean. The mean is probably the most used of these measures of central tendency, and essentially mean is another word for average. When you're looking for the average of these numbers, what you're really doing is you're adding these numbers together, all the data, you're finding the sum, and then you're going to be dividing by the count. And the count simply is the number of numbers, or the number of data. Okay, so we're going to take the mean, which is the sum divided by the count. Okay, so it's pretty simple. For each one of these, there's only 5 numbers. So I'll get my pointer here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And each one of these numbers has 5. So we're always going to be dividing by 5. But don't think that for mean you always divide by 5. It just depends on the amount of data that you have. So let's go ahead and add these numbers. So we have 17, 24, 30, 35. So I have 35 divided by 5 for my mean, and I'm going to get 7. So I already have my mean. My mean is 7. Now, moving on to median. So with median, and this worksheet makes it a little bit easier actually. With median, what you're going to want to do is put the numbers in order from least to greatest. So you can see here that I have the smallest number on the left and the biggest number on the right, and it's in sequential order. You're going to want to do that for any data if you're looking for the median. And if you look here, this is already done for you. All these numbers are ordered from smallest to greatest. So let's go ahead and proceed. So with median, after we're done with the ordering of the data, we're just going to look for the middle number. So let me give you an example here. For this one, for number 2, it's the same thing. We have 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, and it's just going to be the middle number. So once I get to number 2, I already know my median, and that's actually going to be, with all of these, is it's just going to be this middle number. Because there's 5 numbers, we're always going to have an exact middle. So when there's an odd number, as you work your way to the middle to find the middle number, it's always going to arrive on a number. Say, for example, if we have 2 middle numbers. So if it's 2, 3, 3, 4, I don't know, 4, 5, 6. I think I made it, yep, I made it too many. Let me get rid of one of these numbers. Let's say right here. Okay, so if we're making our way to the middle with an even number, we don't arrive on one number exactly. So we're looking for the number in between these two numbers if we have an even number. In this case, the number that's halfway between 4 and 4 is just 4. So 4 would be our median. But if we had something like this, 3, 3, let's call it 4, and then 5, 7, 8. If we had something like this, where we arrive on 4 and 5, is going to be 4.5. Okay, that's not the case for this worksheet. I just want to clarify that for median. So median for number 1 is just going to be 7 because that was our middle number. So our mean was 7 and our median is 7. Our mode, this is the number that appears the most. So what number appears the most out of 5, 6, 7, and 10? Well, obviously 7. 7 is twice, so that is going to be our mode. And mode's actually probably the easiest one to do. Range. Range is also fairly easy. It's just talking about how far the data spans. So what is the gap between the smallest and the biggest, also known as the min and the max. So we're just going to take the max minus the min, and that is 10 minus 5, and that gives us an answer of 5. So 5 is our range for number 1. And it's as simple as that. Okay, so as we move on to number 2, we already have our median because it's ranked in order, and 4 is our middle number. For mean, we would just need to add these numbers together. So that's 12, that's 15, and that's 17. Okay, so this one, we have 17 for our sum, and now we have to divide that by 5. That's why a calculator might be kind of useful for this particular worksheet. We have 17, whoops, need to type it on my calculator, 17 divided by 5. I'm just typing that into my calculator, and I get 3.4 for my answer. Okay, so you're not always going to have a whole number for your mean or your average. It might be something other than a whole number. Just keep that in mind. It could even be an integer if you're dealing with negative numbers. Our mode here is going to be 4. That one's pretty clear because we have 3 fours, and that's more than any other number. Keep in mind there could be more than one mode. So I'm actually going to look through this and see if there's one that has more than one mode. And there also could be no mode. If we're looking at the data set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's no mode here because no number appears more than once. And our range for this one, again, is simply the max minus the min. So in this case, it's 4 minus 2, which is just 2. So those are answers to numbers 1 and 2. Fairly straightforward. I'm looking for one that has 2 modes, and number 8 seems to fit the bill. Let's go ahead and do all of them, though. Whoops. So we have our mean. We're going to add these up. So that's 10, that's 18, so that's 28. We have 36. So 36 is our sum. We're going to divide that by 5. So let me clear my calculator. 36 divided by 5, and we have 7.2. If you need to know about decimal division and you don't have access to a calculator, definitely check out one of my other videos where I go over how to divide decimals. But for now, we have 7.2 for that answer. Our mode, well, I'm going to come back to that. Our median is next. It's ranked in order already, so we're just looking for the middle number, and that's 8. Another way to find the middle number is to just cross off left, right, until you arrive at the middle number or the middle 2 numbers if it's an even count. But our median for this is going to be 8. Our mode is going to be 5 and 9. Both of those have an occurrence of 2 for each one of those data points. 5 has 2, and 9 also has 2. So 9 is going to be our mode as well as 5. And then our range is just the max minus the min. In this case, it's going to be 4. Let's do one more. So we have number 10. Number 10 is another one that has kind of an interesting set of data. We have 5 numbers here, and we're going to go ahead and start with our mean. So our mean is going to be, that's 10. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 6 is 10, plus 15. That gives me 25 is our sum. We're going to divide that by 5 because there's 5 data points. We get 5 for our mean. So a pretty simple one there. That's a whole number. For our median, we need to rank them in order. It's already ranked for this worksheet, so our median is going to be 6, our middle number. Our mode has no mode. I'm just going to put not available. Okay, there's no mode there because no number appears more than twice, or excuse me, more than once. And then our range is the max minus the min, in this case 8 minus 1, which is 7. I hope this worksheet was helpful for you. If you have any more questions on any math-related concept or on this worksheet, please leave a comment below. Make sure to check out my other videos for math drills right here on this channel in a math drills playlist. And I look forward to seeing you next time right here on Wes Explains Best.